This is the European edition of Breaking Banks, the world's #1 fintech podcast and radio show. We bring you the European unicorns, startups, founders, regulators, and leaders innovating the rapidly evolving fintech scene today. A truly localized podcast with both English and local language content, with some of the world's most well-known hosts and influencers in the fintech sector globally. Join us every week as we explore what makes the European Union a phenomenal proving ground for many of the fastest growing fintech plays in the world today. Okay, let's roll.
Hey guys, welcome back to Breaking Banks Europe. I am Matteo Rizzi, the executive producer of the show. Today is show number 224. And we are basically wrapping up the Paris blockchain week with Zoltan from Sunmoney. Zoltan, very welcome to Breaking Banks Europe.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Matt. And it's 224 shows.
Yeah,
it's like amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's, we're like around the sun for 3 years, almost. So actually 4 years. Sorry, math are failing me. Zoltan, as a tradition, a couple of minutes introducing yourself. I know you are very used to cameras, former reporter, and very familiar with the TV shows. So I know that bit, but please go ahead.
Well, I had a very adventurous career, and I got my master's from marketing and mass comm, and then my career was derailed. I would say a lucky derail. I became a war correspondent, and for 10 years, I was like visiting all the wars and disasters in the world, and that built me in a way for business, for quick decision making and analytic skills. So after that, I immediately entered the corporate executive level and worked for some big corporates, and then left, burnt out from corporate, as we all do at one point, and started to do my own business. And
how long ago was that?
It was, it's corresponding to my son's birth when I left media. So it's 13 years ago when I left my corporate chair. And I started to build startups in the IoT sphere, and also some pharma sector, and also in the energy sector. And with two of my friends, we started Sunmoney Solar Group 11 years ago. And it's pretty easy what we do. We build or buy solar power plants, and we let people to buy into these solar power plants. We maintain and support the solar power plants for them. We sell the electricity on our clients' behalf, and they get the revenues every month based on the size of their share. And 2 years ago, and that's why we were at Paris Blockchain Week, 2 years ago, we started to tokenize our fiat business and basically do the same thing in the tokenized world. We launched the company within the group called SDBN in Dubai, in the regulated crypto zone in the MCC. And we feel that it's a great addition to our group, which is actually headquartered in Dubai for 11 years now. And SDBN as a pilot was a huge success. And we launched our pilot phase of the token, SDBN1, and we cleared it very, very quickly. And parallel with that, we became Web3 Company of the Year in Dubai, which was a big honor from Entrepreneur Middle East magazine. And now we are at phase 3, SDBN3. It's tokenized solar assets, real-world money-making assets, and also now tokenized and tokenized recycling, tire recycling, zero emission tire recycling assets, which is a new addition to our portfolio. We invested in a zero emission recycling solution, and we actually cleared the prototyping phase. We are going into mass production as we speak, and that's going to be present in our tokenized world as well as an investment opportunity for our future clients in the forthcoming phases, but already present as a bonus token. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's me, and that's Sunmoney.
Well, we have been busy, Rifi, in one-liner, and as you guys know, I am super active in Africa. Actually, one of the very early companies I got involved with was Mkopa, which is also in Kenya, which is also a solar-driven, like energy on demand business, but built in a time where the blockchain, it was very early blockchain days. So I actually have a gazillion questions, after your brief pitch. So and I'll try to first of all make the questions in a way that our auditors who are in the fintech space but are not all like blockchain experts can understand and know more, and maybe even get this as an investment opportunity, because I suppose it's both B2B and B2C, right, Zoltan?
Yes, mostly for now, SDBN is targeted at B2C. But of course, we would take institutional clients. We haven't marketed it for institutional or B2B clients yet. There is some demand. We saw it at Paris Blockchain Week, and we are thinking about it, but that's a different area of marketing, and we are trying to channel our marketing budget towards B2C these days. We're still very early, like it's just phase 3, and we are planning 10 phases of this, so we have time.
Let's start with the V0 of the project, which I think is also super interesting per se. So where are the plans? How did the business started? Who is financing in the case of the acquisition? How can people in the pre-blockchain phase could have access to that? Let's start from the beginning, basically.
Okay. Yeah. We are not a crowdsourcing company, so we don't collect money to build solar power plants. So what we do, we invested in solar power plants and then started to build a community solar power program on top of that, on top of those capacities. And so Sunmoney Solar Group is basically running the community solar and adding the backup. When we see that we are running out from capacity because people are picking it up, and we add a new park to the community solar power program, which can be sold out. The interesting thing that these parks are all in Central Eastern Europe. Why? Because incentives and tax cuts for renewable energy investments are really good in this area now. It used to be, like Germany. Germany is kind of full with solar now and renewables, but we are always looking at new territories with mitigatable risks, like geopolitical is one of our main concerns, of course, to invest in some areas. Or to widen the portfolio. So when you buy capacity by the watts, so output capacity, output watts, and when you buy that, you basically buy into a pool. So you get the revenues based on the pool average, and that's why we are trying to diversify geographically our investment portfolio, and. We built 50,000 clients in 60 countries so far. And what our clients do is basically buy rights for the revenues. So you basically buy a right for that amount of watt in that pool. And then every month we have an account system, you get your revenues on the account system, and then you can take it out by bank transfer or to a card. We have our own MasterCard, like branded Sunmoney MasterCard, which gives, of course, the best conditions for to take the money out, and also you can reinvest if you want directly from within the account system.
I was curious about what type of yield your clients are getting.
It's the minimum yield is based on the historical data. It never goes under 8% a year, but good years, it's 12, 13, even 14. It really depends on what's happening in the world, what's happening with renewables, what parks can we get into the community solar power program. Because if we can get like better condition parks, that of course raise the average. It depends on, like renewable, as all businesses, is a money game, an Excel game, if you will. So if we can get like good financing, if we can push in more money towards from our side, and we can get better like 0 or 2% financing, and then find parks with good yields, then the average goes up. We are trying to cherry pick for the community solar, so our best parks go into the community solar.
Got it. Okay. So that was like how it started, right? And then what made you think that tokenize it would have been a good idea?
We kept away for a long time from crypto. And it's understandable why. When you have a lot of clients and they want their money to be secure and their revenues coming in every month, then crypto had a reputation. We always liked the idea of blockchain because it's transparent, it's pretty easy to understand, and even for very amateurs who never heard of blockchain, you can explain it in 2 sentences, the general idea of blockchain. So we really like that it gives ease of transaction, it can give a lot of transparency. Also, it's more sustainable environmentally as regular bank systems. And I think global businesses always get into roadblocks with banking. Banking is a pain in the neck for global businesses because there are some jurisdictions which look at you as different. There are jurisdictions who really like you, but then you have clients on several continents and with different jurisdictions, and it can be a problem that payments reversed or even revenues which were sent out to a client reversed. So we saw a huge opportunity on blockchain that we can do this with the ease and transparency what blockchain can offer. So I think two years ago, in 2022, crypto started to clear up in terms of all the bad reputation stuff. So there was a lot of jurisdictional development, like regulatory development and everything. There were popping up jurisdictions where you can be in a regulated zone, and you could actually have regulated tokens launched, and we saw a real opportunity that we can start something, and we started to plan, made a pilot. It was a pilot among our existing clients, so it was a closed pilot, but they picked it up really quickly. And we saw that even there is demand with our fiat clients, there is demand for this. So we immediately jumped back to the drawing table, made the project a bit more appealing, built it up marketing wise, and then launched the second phase, and now the third phase, since the second phase was sold out, and even the second phase was mostly picked up by our already existing clients and whoever they invited as on our referral program. So I think third phase is a milestone because we are actually opening the door for a public sale, and that's a whole new thing with way bigger marketing power, and we are very excited about this actually. I think this is a unique product, and we saw that at the Paris Blockchain Week, that we are in a lot of ways very unique on the market now, and there is demand for real world assets, and especially for money making assets.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I suppose then that actually two questions. The old way of interacting with the platform is still there, right? So you're not obliged to buy tokens to get involved with some money, right? But there is, yes. And at the moment, I think that I'm guessing only a subset of that 50,000 customers that you mentioned bought token, right? The majority of the clients are still on the, let's say, the legacy platform. So
yes.
How do you see the future, Zoltan? Do you see a fully tokenized platform in a few years, or the two will coexist? That's a classic question, I guess you get a lot.
Thank you, Matteo, for that question. Actually, it's a really good question because what we see in the tokenized world is our future. And the future is an evolution. And our legacy platform still works, but we see that the focus is shifting. The client's focus is shifting from a legacy platform to the tokenized platform. And we see that people see a real opportunity in our new tokenized product. And we are thinking about basically offering conversion opportunities for our existing clients sooner or later, possibly sooner. But we see that what we want to build up on blockchain is way bigger than what we have done on our legacy platform before. What we want to do is in these of SVB and tokens, is that we want to build up a green investment portfolio under one token. So when you buy this token, you're not just buying into solar, just buying into recycling, you're buying into new green investment solutions. And when we get to the 10th phase and we finish it, it's like basically like building a fund. But it's a reverse fund because we are investing, and then we are using what money gets into to invest in the next one. And what we see is that there is a huge opportunity because people are actually very interested in these applications and interested in these kind of investments, which hold some key to a better future. And it's very important about us, what our slogan says: make money, save the planet. We like to fill both of those phrases with content, and we have a huge social footprint in terms of what we do for the environment, what we do in terms of advocacy, education. We have a school program. We go to elementary schools, middle schools, and universities. We take kids to our solar power plants and do a kind of like a playful physics on the field lesson on the field. And we also present with in the UN Global Compact. I'm as a person an EU Climate Pact ambassador, so we do a lot for the environment. We want people to be motivated to do more. Biggest motivation in this world, maybe it's a shame, maybe it's just reality, is money. So if we can show that these green investments are can bring revenues and profits, and you can live good off of these, then you don't want to invest in something which is not good for the environment. You want to invest in something which makes the world better. So we see that this is definitely our future, and Sunmoney's future is on blockchain. And even with the legacy platform, we want to change the underlying IT to blockchain. Even if you are investing in fiat, there will be an underlying blockchain for administration, for underlying transactions, because that's the future. And hopefully, in 2 or 3 years, we will only have clients on blockchain.
Actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but if someone understands the basics of tokenization and believe in your product, there is no reason why she should not get the tokenization version of it, because the gain is twofold. So you get the yield from the actual investment, but also you get the yield from the token growth, right? The fact that the entropy of the tokens makes that the more people use it, the more the token will grow value, right? Is my analysis correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So and I know that because I'm also I'm an investor and a silent co-founder of an insurance token, a new protocol.
Amazing.
Which is a collateral based insurance product, but the principle is kind of the same, right? We collateralize the business so that people can and the secret sauce is that everything is completely transparent, which in the insurance space, there is a lot of need for it. So, but back to you, Zoltan. So now I'm curious, what's your presence or even strategy, or how big do you think is your focus on emerging markets, right? I wonder, in one of the most solar-kissed continent of the planet, Africa, how is your presence and what's your strategy?
We don't have presence in Africa. I mean, we have clients from Africa, but it's, as I told you, the geopolitical risks in Africa are way higher than our clients can afford. At some places, we are more present now with negotiations about the tire recycling, the zero emission tire recycling, because that's a huge problem, and we are in talks about that, and hopefully when we start to deploy the mass production, then we will have clients as governments in Africa. We got offers from Africa to actually build solar there, but we never got a thing which could be insured for us in a way that, because in the short term it looks really good, but if something happens, and as we know in Africa, in some parts of Africa at least, some things happen every now and then.
Yeah.
Then you just stay there, and you cannot really mitigate those risks, and we are very cautious about that, not to get into places where it's hard or impossible to get insured by an international insurance company.
I got it, but I was also, I imagine I got the sensitivity, for the as far as the plants are, the physical plants are concerned. But I also think, the fact that you have clients in Africa, that is a very huge plus, because people there understand what sustainability means, and I'll find out. But there are at least 2 female-led startups in tires recycling I want to link you up to, because this is it is a global problem, but it's solved locally, right? So it's and it's funny that you're so focused in and I think that the geniality of the business here is that if you manage to tokenize that part, you give global visibility to a problem that very few even know it exists, right?
Yes. It's. I think like tire people. Like when we look at environmental problems, when we hear tire, we don't see the extent of that problem, and even when I was researching tire waste, I realized that it's a way bigger problem than what I thought before, because it's like 20% of all the microcompound in our waters, seas, oceans is from tire waste. Like 10% of all air pollution is from tires, and that's crazy. If we can, if we can solve that little huge problem, the 2 billion dump tires a year, that would actually make the world significantly better. And I think that's important for us to chip into things which help the world. We are actually experimenting with something amazing. My personal favorite project we are putting research money into. It's not in the prototype phase yet, but on a good road actually. It's a very scalable water desanitizer. And that would help so many countries, like a cost-effective, scalable solution would help so many countries which have the problem with clean drinking water. And I think, we want to find these miracles in the world, because this world, let's be honest, needs a myriad of miracles. And you need to start with one and then build up on that.
The good news is that we already have the one-liner, right? You should not reinvent the wheel, but someone must reinvent the tires, right?
Yes, right. Right.
Zoltan, our time is up. Thank you very much for this time that you have spent with us. The conversation was amazing. Just finish up with where people can invest in Sunmoney. Where is the token listed? Because the few people with the ledger, maybe they will get inspired, and then we'll wrap it up.
I answered the second. It's not listed on any exchanges yet, and we're going to build the secondary market later on.
Of course, because it's a private one. Sorry. I should have.
Yes, and it's fixed price. SDBN 3 is 1.5 US cents, and you can read all about it on www.sunmoney.com, and you'll find all our products. You will find SDBN. Read the briefs and read the white paper and all the technical information there. And if you would like to invest, then just give us your email address and press on buy token, and we will send you all the information.
Great, Zoltan. Thank you very much for being with us today. And I hope that this will not be our last conversation. And I have the sense that it will be for sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matteo. Thank you very much. And let's stay in touch. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Breaking Banks Europe, a Provoke Media podcast in cooperation with FinTech Stage. Don't forget to tweet us out, shout out, or post to the team at Breaking Banks EU on Twitter. If there's something or someone you'd like to hear on our cast, let us know. See you next week on Breaking Banks Europe.